closing in on him.
Double dribble that time, committed by James. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't realize the stream hasn't started yet, so joined now by Joe D'Agostino, Anthony Gallo, and so far 14-11. We've actually had a pretty good first quarter so far. Still lots of time to go in the game.
And I think both teams starting off, it was kind of sloppy from both sides. And TRC, they started to pick it up, and now it feels like Father Henry Carr, they got the momentum. We saw a big game so far by Dawson John. He's starting to pick it up offensively. And on the flip side, Caleb Johnson, who's averaging 24 and 10 right now, he's shown his will inside the paint. He's made a couple good shots for them.
And Victor Radikash into the game now along with Steven Diaz. Interesting lineup here. He's Diaz and Monegro on the court together for the same time. We didn't see that much last night. 2 point guards running together. Diaz to Radikash. Couldn't handle the alley-oop pass. But there's John. Going to try his luck from outside. No good. Jeffers finds Johnson. Shirley, a wide open Jemiah Jeffers. Good ball movement here by Henry Carr, but blocked on the three-point shot by Monegro. Ocampo. And another turnover here for Father Henry Carr.
And that was just unbelievable defense. We talked about this yesterday. TRC, their bread and butter is defense. Turn your defense into offense. Let your offense come to you naturally, and that's exactly what happened in that situation.
John pulls back, picks up his dribble. Monegro going in strong. Nice move that time, can't finish. Diaz. Extra pass to BK, and John again finishes. Dawson John has done a good job tonight slashing and cutting. Radikash has a tough assignment right now against Johnson. Johnson takes advantage of that. I'm going to call a foul.
And it looked like it could be goaltending.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Surprised Paul Melnick not making a case over here for goaltending. Oh, here he goes. I think he has a case here, Joe.
It looked like it was a little late on that deflection.
I think everyone in the gym right now but the refs know that. Looks like they're going to settle here for 2 shots to Caleb Johnson, not going to count the goaltending. And Brian Sullivan-Gay getting set to check back in here for the Wolfpack. John going to come out, well-earned rest here for Dawson John. Diaz to take it up now. Double coming. Good awareness to get it out of there. BK going in strong, draws the contact, no foul that time. Still picks up 2. Jemiah Brown-Jeffers has a couple big games recently. Coming in averaging 12 points per game. And here's Nagamba putting his head down. Blocked by Radikash. Blocked again that time. And TRC comes away with it. We're going to call a foul, I think, off the ball there. Johnson caught Diaz in the neck that time.
And on the other side of the court, that was just great discipline by TRC inside, not jumping, not taking a silly foul inside the paint, and then able to get the ball and move it forward, causing a foul. And for TRC, I think this has been a pretty good start defensively.
Monegro calling for a screen from Radikash. No foul that time, and Sullivan-Gay finishes it off. Good activity down low by Sullivan-Gay. Nagamba. Brown-Jeffers, one-on-one with Diaz. Loses the dribble that time. Diaz, Sullivan Gay draws the foul, and he gets the friendly roll. Has a chance at a three-point play here. A lot of talking going on between the refs right now and coaching staff for Father Henry Carr. Brian can't complete the three-point play that time. And a quick foul here on Radikash. Nagamba. Shirley from the corner. Can't get it to go on a foul on Caleb Johnson. That's 2 fouls here on Caleb Johnson early on in the first quarter.
And right now for FHC, one of their problems this year, they're 8-2 and they've been playing great, but the three-point shot hasn't been there for them. And right now TRC is just playing really great interior basketball. They're forcing them to take those shots, and until they can make them pay for it, this is going to be a recipe for success for TRC.
Yeah, as they're in the bonus now, a couple of free shots coming for Jefferson Monegro, and Caleb Johnson looks like he's going to come out of the game, and Ocampo coming back in. And I thought for a second there Melnick was going to keep him in with a couple fouls here, but I think this is a smart move.
I think it is a smart move, and I think that maybe just shuffling up the rotation just a little bit right now, down 22-13, maybe kind of get something going with maybe a rotation you're not used to seeing at this point in the game.
Of course, Father Henry Carr still without Josh Morgan, who is the third leading scorer. Suffered that leg injury, broken leg, not too long ago, but we saw him in warm-ups. He was warming up yesterday as well. Doesn't seem like he's going to get on the court today, but he is dressed, so that's a welcome sight.
And I think it's a testament to show how good Father Henry Carr is that with Josh Morgan out for most of the season so far, they really didn't miss a beat. They've still been playing well without him. Brown
Jeffers can't get it to go, but there's Nagamba. Not a good job that time by TRC of boxing out. Ocampo. It's been a thief all night. Tough shot, but still gets it to go somehow.
That's a couple possessions in a row where they kind of caught TRC sleeping, and they put them right back in this game. FHC, I should say.
And BK guarded all the way down the court by Jeffers. Oh, they're calling a moving screen here on Radikash.
It looked like that initially what I thought it was going to be, but there was kind of some hesitation by the refs there.
Similar to last night's game with TRC, the refs are calling it tight here. Both teams almost both in the foul here. 9 fouls apiece. Off the mark that time. Diaz nearly lost it, but there's a BK strong move. No good that time. Celebingue once again on the offensive boards.
And Celebingue, that's 6 quick points already in this bottom half of the first quarter.
Campo finishes it off. BK slipped over here on the ground. Looks like he hurt his knee here. I see James come in. Radikash. Full court press being displayed once again here by Henry Carr. James, open Diaz here in the corner. Decides not to take it. One dribble in. Pass it off to Radikash. What footwork that time by the big man down low. Nagamba, he gets it done on both ends. A block on the other end. Celebinque to Monegro. Going up strong with it. I think Paul Melnick needs a timeout here, Joe.
And I think that's what we might see here.
No timeout. Starting to fall apart here, though. 11-point lead now for TRC as 37 seconds left in the first quarter. I think he's going to ride it out here. Jaden Dorsett now guarded by James. Shirley. Dorsett. Brown Jeffers, foot on the line. Got the shooter's roll that time. But once again, not a good look here for Father Henry Carr. Everything coming tough to them right now.
I think TRC will take that shot every single time if they could.
Diaz comes down with it, tries to find Radikash inside, turned over. 2 seconds. Ocampo missed the net that time. Quite the entertaining first quarter there. 30-21. Father Henry Carr trails the visiting TRC. Stick around for second quarter action. You're watching OSBA TV. Welcome back here. Second quarter action about to get underway here. Looks like Majabu and BK is okay here. Scary sight. He had a fall near the end of the first quarter. Looked like he came up favoring his knee, but seems like he's all right here.
And that's the last thing you want to see if you're TRC. You're rolling in that first quarter, and one of your best players who really brought a jolt of energy in the middle of that first quarter when Dawson John had to step out. You don't want him to be out for this game or for prolonged amount of time. So good to see him back on the court, and this has really been a great start for TRC. And on the flip side for FHC, it's something that they need to work on because right now nothing's really going right on the offensive or defensive side.
See, I think the thing about him, why Majambu is so important is that any court he steps on in this league, he's arguably the best athlete on the floor every time.
He definitely makes everything look incredibly easy, like you said, on both sides of the court.
Looks like they're talking over a scorer's table here. Brown Jeffers to Ocampo. Stolen by John. Plays the passing lane perfectly and flushes it down with two hands on the other end.
Just a great read by Dawson John. He sat out most of that end of that first quarter, comes in and immediately makes an impact.
Yeah, didn't miss a beat. Brown Jeffers, couple crossovers in the lane. Tough shot that time, but almost got it to go. Brown Jeffers on the year, only 61% from the line. Good on the first. Has a chance to cut it within single digits here. 9:37 remaining in the first half. And Jeffers goes 2 for 2 at the line. James guarded here by Shirley. Doing a good job of cutting him off. Nearly turned over. John, strong drive again, gets it to go.
Just a great play by Dawson John. So far, everything is going right for TRC.
Dawson John has been the X factor tonight so far in this first half. Dorsett. Ocampo, nice job to get off John. Going in strong, and he's blocked that time again by Radikash. That's 3 on the night now for Victor, and a foul coming. Last night, Victor had 2 blocks in the first half. Now he has 3 already.
And on that foul, that just looked like a frustration foul, something that FHC, they're not used to right now, the fact that they're down by 11. They've been so great all season long, and this is going to be some real adversity that they're going to have to deal with to try to get themselves back in this game.
And Malachi Howard in for the first time tonight for Father Henry Carr. Coming in, just averaging 4 points per game, but it's what he does on all ends of the floor, all over the floor. John pulling back. Campo reaching a bit. And BK with a strong athletic drive and the foul. That's what Manjabu brings every single night.
And this is what we saw yesterday. Just in that first half and third quarter, TRC just could not do anything wrong. And I think right now what's really impressive is offensively they struggled a bit in that first half yesterday. Tonight they are driving to the basket and they're making those looks count every single time.
And Majabu completes a 3-point play, 37-23. Brown Jeffers. Not good spacing here by Father Henry Carr. Shirley, pull-up jump shot. Once again, a low percentage shot here by Father Henry Carr. And this game has been, this second quarter, I should say, has been dominated by TRC so far. James spinning off, going to work in the post, too strong. And John there again on the follow. Dawson John is having himself a first half right now.
And that's just great to see any player not give up on the play. That offensive board was there for him to take, and he took it, and he made it count.
Jeffers going in strong with the hop step, rejected by Radikash again. And BK down the other end, gets it to go.
It almost feels like deja vu right now. We've seen this a dozen times, it feels like, already in this game.
Nobody expected this tonight coming in. A 19-point lead right now. Still 7:37 remaining in the first half. Brown Jeffers missed again. The interior defense right now by TRC is otherworldly right now. James to Radikash, gets it to go again.
And FHC, you mentioned before, they're going to need to take a timeout at some point here.
Paul Melnick yet to call a timeout. They desperately need Caleb Johnson back in this game, I think. Jeffers. Howard passing out to Ocampo. Clean look. In and out that time. Nothing is falling right now. There's a lid on the basket for Father Henry Carr. John for 3. Missed the shot that time. Turned over. And BK almost got it to go. And that time it's going to go back to Father Henry Carr. But what a couple minutes there for TRC. Single-handedly just took over this game, specifically Dawson John.
And if you're FHC, this is where it becomes a problem where your three-point game isn't very strong. The fact that they live in the interior and TRC's interior defense is so strong, this just feels like a clear mismatch. TRC might just be built to play this well against FHC.
They're so lengthy, it's so hard to shoot on them. It's just, there's a difference on the court right now, and Father Henry Carr desperately needs Caleb Johnson to get going here, their leading scorer. Because Ocampo, his stroke has just not been there tonight. Caleb Johnson, of course, getting in foul trouble there in the first quarter.
And I think a guy like Jalen Shirley, who's shooting 45% from the 3, if he can get it going from the outside just a little bit to maybe build something for FHC where it forces TRC to maybe play the perimeter game a little bit more than they're doing right now, that could be huge for them as well.
Their man-to-man defense tonight, though, however, for TRC has been suffocating. The Gamba step-back shot, and see, again, they'll take that. Johnson, strong rebound, draws the foul that time.
And that was something you mentioned. A guy like Caleb Johnson, he's got to make plays like that, get that offensive board, second chance opportunities, get some free shots at the free throw line, something to just jolt your team moving forward in this game.
The thing is, TRC has been up and down all year, but when they play like this, it doesn't seem like anybody can beat them because, like I just mentioned, they're so lengthy and they're so hard to get inside on it and drive in the paint.
And very disciplined on the defensive side as well. When they double, they know that they have to close on the next man when that pass is made, and it just makes things difficult for the team they're playing.
But we know what their problem has been so far this year, and that's the fourth quarter. Let's see that time, Howard getting inside for 2. And BK, Euro step. That looked like it was all ball that time. And a technical foul on Caleb Johnson.
And that's just frustration.
I think they're calling it back maybe. Looks like they're just... And a technical foul on Caleb Johnson. This has not been a good outing for him. Already in foul trouble.
And it feels like a team that's 8-2, that things have gone well for them all season long, and it just, things aren't going right now. And you can see the frustration building on every player on FHC.
We see Victor Rigby Osula into the game. So that would technically be Caleb Johnson's 4th foul.
And that's
the first
a
half.
massive problem.
That is a big. You essentially eliminated him for the rest of this first half. I mean, depending on how risky Paul Melnick wants to play it, but I think you got to sit in the rest of the half now. 4, and there's still 6:10 to go. I
was going to say the fact that there's still 6 minutes left in the second, it gives you really no choice.
He has clearly been frustrated tonight. BK misses the foul shot there that time. And Majabu good on the second. Shirley to Nagamba. Howard inside. Here's Monegro, back the other way. Jefferson finds John in the corner. I thought he should have taken that one. Bounce pass inside. Numbers now for Father Henry Carr. Extra pass to Shirley. Well done that time. A transition by Henry Carr. Celebingue. Johnny V, nice pass. And it looks like the foul was on the floor before the slam.
But it looks like that might be the 5th foul of the second quarter.
Already, yeah.
Unless they already updated the... nope, it is going to be their 5th personal, which means they are going to get 2 shots.
Already in the bonus here. TRC, every foul on the floor now will be 2 shots for them. 5 minutes remaining. 5:28 remaining in the first half. Rolak off on the first. Johnny coming in. Doesn't get to the line too much, but shoots 70% from that mark on the floor as he goes 1 for 2 at the line. 46-28. Henry Carr's been hit with a flurry here in the second quarter. Brown Jeffers guarded by James. Malachi Howard, strong drive, too strong that time. Gets his own rebound, stole it away from him. And James ultimately comes down with it. James, gonna take it himself, draws the foul. Looks like they're gonna call it on Vrolak actually, off the ball that time.
That's a huge break for FHC because it looked like it was gonna be a foul on James.
It's like Paul Melnick wants to talk it over. We're going to take the time to take a break here. 5:01 remaining in the second quarter. Welcome back. Welcome back here. 5:01 remaining, 46-28. TRC leads Father Henry Carr here in Etobicoke at Henry Carr Secondary. Howard up top to Brown Jeffers. Nagamba looking to go to work, using his muscle. Got a shot off, but not a high percentage one that time. Monegro, strong drive in, the foul! Brown Jeffers picks it up.
And FHC just has no answer to TRC's interior game right now.
They are
Every time
constantly
they
going
drive.
downhill, yeah, like you were just saying. It's been unstoppable so far. And if I'm Paul Melnick, I look to get Raheem Wilson back into this game.
Yeah, you might need to put a little bit more size in this game if you want to maybe to contend with that interior game that TRC's been playing.
Step back, Shirley. Nice shot that time, right down the hatch. Henry Carr needs more shots like that. John. Clear lane again. TRC has been outstanding in the paint. Nagamba. Brown Jeffers with an open look. Can't get it to fall. 20-point lead here for TRC. Under halfway now through the second quarter. Radikash. Monegro over to Rolak. Gets it to go. Everything is falling right now for TRC. Already with 53 points in this half. We still have over 3 minutes to play. And a foul coming up here.
And this is an important 3 minutes to close this first half for both teams, because if you can pull away even more for TRC, you're making this game feel almost like it's a lead that you can't get back in. But if this is a final 3.5 minutes for FHC where they can figure out, take a couple more threes, make some shots that they weren't making in that first quarter and the top half of the second, this could maybe build some momentum to close this game out.
And Ocampo back into the game now for Henry Carr. They need that scoring touch right now out of him. Off on the second that time. Monegro pulls back here. John has some space from three. Dawson John again. He has been clicking on all cylinders here tonight. Cut off again, and BK comes away with it. John, strong move. Once again, offensive goaltending, and they're calling Radikash. It is FIBA rules, but the ruling in that is that yes, they can tip it in when the ball is over the net, but if the ball is on the rim, they can't tip it in.
And it was pretty close, but I do think they called it right there.
Nagamba. Foul coming up again. He's going to head to the line. Noah Nagamba's kind of been a welcome sight here tonight so far for Henry Carr. One of the brighter spots.
And he's really been getting to the line, and I know that you're not going to win this game off free throws, but to try to slowly climb yourself out of this hole, getting free shots is always a positive as opposed to a negative.
But you got to make them, that's for sure. And not able to do that right now. In and out that time, misses both. Rolak on a mismatch down low, going to work, drop step. No good that time, a little too strong on the hook.
And that was the matchup they wanted.
Ocampo again going downhill, draws the foul. Both teams in the bonus. See Terrion come in tonight for the first time. Rolak's been giving him great minutes in these past two games. Campo misses the first, and surprising miss. 84.5% free throw shooter, one of the better free throw shooters in the OSBA.
And now that's 3 free throws in a row that FHC hasn't been able to close out.
Gets a second to go that time. John not wasting any time here. Going in his bag right now, stolen by Ocampo. Nagamba, corner shot for Howard. Too strong that time. And immediately TRC is racing down the court. Another easy layup.
And that was a great recovery there by TRC.
Nagamba taking it himself. Draws the foul again. And Darion going to pick it up. Nagamba, of course, last year was on the Vaughn team. No longer in the OSBA, the Vaughn senior team. Jeremy Kaye wants to talk it over here. 2:10 remaining. TRC up 58-35. We'll be back just a moment. Welcome back here to Father Henry Carr, TRC, with what's been rather surprising so far in the first half. Yes, we expected TRC to obviously compete with Father Henry Carr. Both these teams have a great game, but we didn't necessarily expect TRC to be up this much ending the first half.
Yeah, I think that TRC going into this game, we both felt that they looked like they matched up well against FHC. It's just surprising to see how poor FHC has been on the offensive end, but especially the defensive end, just giving up easy baskets on the interior. They need to fix that.
And I would love to see, as there's a travel here, I would love to see TRC close this game out comfortably. Yes, I want to see a great game, but I also want to see them fix what their biggest problem has been so far this year, and that's closing out teams. Like last night, they were almost up 30 on Ridley College, and Ridley cut it within 6 points at one point. So I believe, to me, this game still feels wide open because I can't trust TRC right now, but I'm hoping they prove me wrong. Turned over here. And there's another basket by Usala. Turned over here. Ocampo gets it to go on the finger roll. And another quick timeout coming here for Kaye. We're going to take another timeout here. You're watching the OSBA Game of the Week. Welcome back to Father Henry Carr Catholic Secondary School. Henry Carr starting to make a little bit of a comeback here, 58-39, still a 19-point game, but Henry Carr with some sign of life here.
Yeah, they had a couple sloppy possessions for TRC. They capitalized on steals, some easy baskets. That's the recipe to try to get yourself back in this game.
John pulling back here. Finds Celebingue. Hasn't been really able to get going tonight. And BK, strong drive down the lane and the foul. Quite the response that time from Majambu.
And we've been seeing that all game for TRC, just driving to the basket and immediate no response by FHC. They're almost forced to foul, and that's still not enough to stop the basket. It's been tough on the defensive end for FHC.
They've definitely been lacking interior defense tonight.
And it definitely doesn't help that Caleb Johnson's on the bench right now with 4 fouls.
And an offensive rebound off a free throw, that is unacceptable if you're Paul Melnick and Henry Carr. Travel that time. Looks like Bryant slid his feet. Ocampo to take it up now for Henry Carr. Nearly stolen by John. Falls down. Ocampo again. Somehow finds Brown Jeffers. Mid-range shot. Too short that time. Therion comes away with it. John. Bounce pass to Therion. Inside to Majabu and BK. Mismatch down low. Sullivan Gay. Triple team down there. No good. And a foul there on Bryant. That's going to be free throws now for Henry Carr. Nana Boateng now in for TRC. Ocampo good on the second that time. Shot clock turned off now here. Wonder if TRC slows it down. Looks like that's what they want to do. And BK. Another travel call here on TRC.
That's a couple in a row now, it feels like. Just some sloppy possessions near the end of this second quarter by TRC that I don't want to say is keeping FHC in the game because they're still playing well. It's just, you know, if you're trying to get yourself back in the game, that's the last thing TRC needs to do.
Nagamba to Jeffers. That was a clean look that time. And 0.2 seconds left on the clock. They have a chance for an inbound, but by rule, they can't get a jump shot off here, so it's going to have to be a tip-in. Looks like Raheem Wilson's going to come in. It's all set up now for a tip-in here. I think Paul Melnick made it pretty obvious, too, with a hint. Oh! They're going to say no basket. Controversial call here as the end of the half. And the refs hearing it from the crowd now, but I think by rule, you can't catch it and shoot it in. I think it's only tip in at that point. So I think it's not a popular call here, and Paul Melnick not happy about it, but I think perhaps they might have the right call here.
I would say in defense of FHC, it did look more like a volley than an actual shot there, so it's close.
Oh, they're counting it now here. The refs overturn their call. And it's really close to call here. We're taking a look back on our screen over here, but Regardless, the refs overturn the call here at the end of the half, making it 60-43. And that'll be the end of the half here. Make sure you tune into second half action. You're watching the OSBA Game of the Week. Welcome back. Second half action here at Father Henry Carr Secondary School. Home team trailing a bit here. Joba, bit of sign of life at the end of that second quarter.
Yeah, that was a good finish by FHC in that second quarter. They started to kind of close in. It's only 17. I think at one point it was around 24. So they're starting to close in a little bit. They need to maybe get a little bit more of a perimeter game going, but I think defense is the first sign where you need to play really well to get yourself back in it.
And already an early foul here for Raheem Wilson. Interesting move here by Paul Melnick, continuing to sit. Caleb Johnson, of course, has 4 personal fouls. And we heard Jeremy Kaye all the way from out here in the locker room giving it to his team. Not happy with the way they've been letting Father Henry Carr get a little bit of momentum at the end of the half. And honestly, Joe, I don't blame him. After that collapse last night, I'm sure he's just as worried about that. Monegro. Jefferson. Beautifully done that time. Continuing off a great first half. Stolen that time. Jeffers gets it back. Howard to Nagamba, met at the summit, but a foul here. And Radikash picks up 2.
And Radikash, I think on most attempts so far, he's been able to finish off with the block, but on that situation, he got a little too much contact, and it's going to lead to 2 shots for Nagamba, who really lived at the line for most of that first half. He just really didn't finish on a lot of those free throws.
And Vrolak back in the game here after an early foul on Radikash. Hits the first. And he's good on that. 2 for 2 at the line. 62-45. Monegro met by the full court press. John, who had 20 in the first half. BK, another travel call here on Majabu and BK. Saw that a couple times from him last night as well.
Yeah, this has been a problem for TRC, especially in this game. This is around the 5th time they've been called for a travel.
Nagamba once again going to head to the line here. 2 early fouls, not even a minute into this second half.
And that's what happened on the flip side for FHC in the second quarter. They got in early foul trouble, and I think that might hesitate your defense on the interior, and that might be why TRC was getting so many good looks on the inside. That might be the case now for FHC. They might want to continue to attack this paint, because now that they're in foul trouble, they might get a little bit more easy looks.
And welcome sight here for Nagamba, hitting his last 4 free throws after being a little bit shaky there at the end of the first half from the line. Salabingue. John wide open in the corner. See Father Henry Carr here with the double. Monegro to John for 3. Short. John gets his own rebound. Nearly turned over that time to keep it in. Monegro's going to reset here with 10 on the shot clock. Jefferson nearly stolen. And Jeffers comes away with a jump ball. Possession, Father Henry Carr.
And luckily for TRC, if that wasn't a jump ball, they were immediately on the break, and that would have cut this lead even more.
Biggest lead of the night, 22 points for TRC. 15-point game. Brown Jeffers to Ocampo. Brandon trying to knife through. Jump ball. It should be possession TRC, and it is. See Gotlock James come in for the first time, and Brian Sullivan going to take a seat here. Diaz to check in as well. And BK going to take a rest. Monegro met by the double here. James to a healthy look again here for John. Dawson John, he doesn't miss 2 in a row often.
Yeah, you can't continue to give a guy like Dawson John that look, especially on 2 possessions in a row.
23 points now for John. And Nagamba and the foul! Noah Nagamba has constantly been attacking here.
And I think that's what we've been waiting for FHC. We've been waiting for someone who really is the guy that we look for TRC that just doesn't have an answer to, and that's Ngamba right now. He's getting to the line, and now with an and one, he can continue to maybe try and cut this down.
And Ngamba completes the three-point play. The lead back down to 15. Turned over. Ocampo to Shirley, driving in strong. Gets it to go. A lot of contact that time, no foul. Starting to hear the noise from the crowd here at Father Henry Carr.
And FHC, they're feeling it. You saw Ocampo, he's clapping. He knows that they've got this they've got this right now.
Another travel call, and Jeremy Kaye wants to talk it over. Visibly frustrated with the referees here. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the OSBA Game of the Week. Back here at Father Henry Carr School, alongside Joe D'Agostino, Anthony Guile on hand, and Father Henry Carr starting to get a little bit of momentum back here, Joe.
I think that's really saying that you're not giving full credit on what's happened in these first 2 minutes of this second half. They have complete momentum right now, and I think that was a smart timeout by TRC. They need to try to get their footing back.
They have to do a better job of defending without fouling. Already 3 fouls here, a couple more, and they're going to be in the bonus already. Ocampo, pass fake. Foul again here. One more, and TRC already in the penalty.
Yeah, and this is a major problem for TRC. Right now, they have no answer for FHC's interior game, and that was the complete opposite of what we saw in this entire game. It just feels like a switch has been flipped on both sides.
Campo good on the first. .11 game now. Full court press being applied. James, guarded heavily by Brown Jeffers. Monegro to Celebingue. Back to Jefferson. Wide open look. Short of the mark. John on the offensive rebound. Put his total up to 25 now for Dawson John. Stolen. Jeremy Kaye wants his team to push the ball. BK trapped. Stolen by Brown Jeffers. Ocampo. Strong drive. And followed up by Brown Jeffers, getting it done on both ends of the floor. 11-point game once again. And BK to Monegro. Can't get it to go in. There's BK on the follow. Kickball violation. Brown Jeffers. Both teams applying the full court press here. Father Henry Carr has done a better job of escaping it, however. Howard can't finish. Stolen back. Ocampo going in and draws the foul. Brandon Ocampo is just, he's fearless.
He's fearless, and what's scary about FHC right now is they're doing this all without Caleb Johnson, who still hasn't seen the floor since getting checked out with 4 fouls early on in that second. once he comes back in, that's just another weapon for FHC trying to mount this comeback.
Campo good on the first. Misses the second that time. And BK over to James. And a foul on the floor. John to inbound. John cut off here. Still continuing to fight, and he goes under the basket and finishes it off.
And that was such a great move with such little space on that baseline.
Shirley fires it back to Nagamba. Gonna drive strong again, gets it to go. Good job of James playing without fouling, however. John, strong drive. Charging call. And now Father Henry Carr with a chance to cut it within 10 here.
And for TRC right now, it's not like they've been playing really poorly in this third quarter. It's just they haven't had continued stretches of great basketball. They've made a good basket, a good defensive possession, but they aren't able to string both of them together. And after that charge, like you said, this is an opportunity to cut it to single digits.
Here's Ocampo behind the back. Brandon Ocampo. No good that time. Offensive rebound, and they put it back in. That's Malachi Howard. 10-point game. Monegro, strong drive, finger rolls it in.
And that was something we saw the entire first half, and we haven't seen much of it in this third quarter. They need to get back to driving in the paint with Monegro or in BK.
Brown Jeffers over to Howard. The pace has really picked up here, Joe. And BK to take it up now. Here's James. Henry Carr's kind of sagged off the full court press. BK. John for three. In and out. Streaking down is Brown Jeffers. He banks it in. Timeout coming here for Jeremy Kaye. Father Henry Carr has cut it within single digits. You're watching the OSBA Game of the Week. Welcome back here to Father Henry Carr. Second half action, 4:37 to go. And Henry Carr with a bit of a comeback here, cutting the lead all the way down from 22 to 8 points now. Inside to Sullivan Gate, can't handle the pass. Monegro, back to John for three. Can't hit that time again. Ocampo pushing the pace here. Brandon Ocampo, not strong enough. Turned over. Howard to Nagamba, blocked, follows it up with the basket that time on the offensive board. 6-point game.
And Nagamba's been the star for FHC this entire game. Getting to the free throw line, showing some dominance.
Right on cue, and he draws a foul again, Noah Nagamba.
And look at him, he feels it right now. He knows that the game is in the palm of his hands right now. He's the one who's taking complete control. And like you said, with a 6-point deficit, could cut it to 4. With only 4 minutes left in the third, this was a 20-point game where it feels like just like 5 minutes ago.
The TRC again, Joe, is falling apart here in the second half. We were talking about it over halftime. Like, they were up by a lot, and we still felt like this was anyone's game because we don't have the trust in TRC. And I was talking about in the first half. Come on, I want to trust TRC, but they haven't proven it so far.
And I don't want to make it sound like I'm slandering Ridley College here, but FHC, they're a completely different animal when it comes to the talent that they have.
Jeremy Kaye on the floor here, visibly frustrated, animated on the sideline. Him and Jefferson yelling at each other here. .353 remaining in the third quarter. BK, bad pass that time. James for 3. And there's John, misses the rebound, and Sullivan Gay finishes it off. They needed that one. But here's Henry Carr once again down the other end. Shirley doesn't take it. Ocampo for 3. Missed the net. Sullivan Gay. Foul called that time. Looking to complete the 3-point play here.
And Selabinge, he had a quick 6 in that first quarter and then kind of disappeared a little bit on the offensive end. Now in the same situation here in the third, a couple possessions in a row where he can kind of take over and make something happen on the inside. That's huge for TRC. This was the boost they really needed when it felt like they had no momentum on their side.
Misses the extra point. BK with the strong rebound, draws the foul. That's the kind of effort that they had in the first half.
And hey, if you're going to miss a free throw, that's the way to do it. Get the rebound and get to the line for 2 more instead.
Lajabu coming in as the second leading scorer for this TRC team at about 13 points per game. Misses the free throw that time. Not a bad free throw shooter, but not the greatest in the world you'll ever see. 68.5% on the year. And he misses both that time. But another offensive rebound by Majabu. Misses. And he draws the foul again. And even if they didn't call a foul, he was in line to get his own rebound again. Both teams in the penalty now. And he hits both. The lead is back up to 10 points now. Nagamba back to Shirley. Ocampo. Brown Jeffers. Strong drive. Gets it. Blocking foul that time. 2 shots coming up.
And on the flip side, we just saw TRC kind of take some momentum back with those offensive rebounds off the foul shots. That's what FHC needed. They needed a good possession there. It's, again, double-digit lead, but if you had a good possession, which I think they did with getting to the free throw line, it kind of keeps yourself in this game.
See Luke Terrion come in now. Brian Sullivan going to take a seat. Jeffers hits the second that time. 9-point game, 2:54 to go in the third quarter. James to John for three. No good. That's 3 in a row he's missed now from beyond the arc. Therion, foul on the floor. 2 shots coming up.
And that's a shot, even though he's missed 3 in a row. He's going to take every time. He is capable of making that 3. But like you said before, that now that they're in the bonus, it's going to be 2 shots, and every point matters at this point in this game.
Jaden Dorsett and Raheem Wilson getting set to check back in here. It's going to take a Noah Nagamba, who's earned this rest. Dorsett guarded by John. Turned over again. They have numbers. Monegro blocked that time by Brown Jeffers. James gets it back. What an acrobatic move. Can't finish. Here comes Henry Carr. Brown Jeffers can't get it to go again. And BK driving. James misses the shot, but he draws the foul. And Raheem Wilson picks up another one.
And I know it's going to be kind of missed in the commotion with both teams kind of missing on both sides, but that block by Brown Jeffers, that was a 1-on-3 basically, and he was still able to make a great defensive play. But for TRC to kind of to take that block and still get back, play good defense, and then get to the line, that's huge for them.
James misses the shot. James good on the second. Rigby Osula, who just checks into the game. Ocampo now guarded by MBK. Brown Jeffers going in strong. Shirley for 3, no good again. Jeffers, strong board, gets it to go off glass. BK to John, that's too easy. Too strong that time again. BK, they got numbers. Therion can't get the roll. That's going to stay with TRC here. 1:18 remaining in the third quarter. Monegro up top. Darion calling for it. John going to work in the post. No good. Ocampo outlet pass to Brown Jeffers. Keeps it in. Wide open shot for Shirley. Short again. Dorsett gets it to go over the outstretched arms.
And in that play right there, it looked like TRC was just kind of watching the ball and not really paying attention to their assignment for the defensive rebound.
BK to John. James. Nice pass inside to Terrion. Great patience that time. Stolen again. John racing down. Gets it to go. Doesn't get it to go that time. But 2 shots coming up again. And TRC has been doing a good job this third quarter of really stopping the run from Father Henry Carr. Every time it looks like Henry Carr is coming back into this game, TRC shuts them down.
And I think in these past 3 minutes, what's really been helping them is they got back to what they were doing so well in that first half. And that's just driving, going head down, head first into the paint, and making something happen, at whether it's getting to the free throw line or getting an easy look.
Good on both that time. Shot clock turned off now. Zone being played once again here by TRC. Jeffers. Nice pass inside. Well run play. 3 seconds to go. Shot from half court. No good. Going into the fourth quarter, it will be an 11-point lead here for TRC. Father Henry Carr doing a good job of getting back into this game, but TRC, let's see if they can hold on and keep this fourth quarter lead. You're watching the OSBA Game of the Week. Fourth quarter action getting underway here at Henry Carr Catholic Secondary School. TRC with an 11-point advantage. Caleb Johnson still on the bench here for Father Henry Carr. Jeffers gets it to go off glass. That's just the start you needed here. And BK flushes it down with 2.
And both teams great possessions on the offensive end, but defensively, both teams are going to need to step it up here.
Jeffers. Ocampo shot fake, baseline. Can't finish. Going up strong again, finally gets it to go.
And that was a good look on his first attempt, but be able to find the ball in a flurry of players and still finish with the shot, that was huge by Ocampo.
John knifing through the D. Too short that time. Ocampo to Howard. Gets it to go and the foul. Chance to cut it to a 6-point lead.
And just like that, a 2-possession game with 9 minutes to go in the fourth. FHC, they have to be happy with where they are with how they played in that first half.
Good on the extra point that time. 6-point lead now for TRC. Just about a minute into this final quarter. Radakash and BK. 2 shots coming up here now for BK. BK 1 of 2 at the line. Darian with the rebound, and another foul coming up.
And this has been a problem for FHC on those free throws. They have struggled to get the rebound, and those are just opportunities that you can't let TRC have.
They just don't have the length that TRC has, at least on the floor right now. It's Raheem Wilson and Caleb Johnson are both in foul trouble. You wonder if Paul Melnick decides to sit them both for the rest of the game.
And it's honestly, it's a good question because Caleb Johnson is their best player. At least he's been their best player so far this season. But he has been sitting for almost this whole game. And even though he'll be fresh, he's going to have to get himself in a rhythm once again. And with this game being so close and with you trailing in this game, the margin of error is going to be really low for FHC. So it's going to be a good debate on what they're going to do with Caleb Johnson at the end of this game, or near the end of this game.
Ocampo. It's again strong drive. Ocampo looking for a foul. Kickball that time. Johnny Vrolak coming in now. Radikash to Vrolak, no good, but there's MBK once again following it up.
Yeah, that was a great follow through by MBK.
And the lead is ballooned back up to 10. Brown Jeffers, nice find inside, and Howard with the strong layup.
Both teams are playing really quick pace right now. It seems like they want to get down into the paint as quick as possible.
Henry Cart can't afford to keep trading shots with them, however. Radikash to MBK, draws the foul again.
And they can't afford that either. They can't afford to continue to let TRC live at the free throw line in this fourth quarter.
Two more shots here from Ajabu and BK. Good on the second. Brown Jeffers. Howard to Ocampo. Patience good, and 2 fouls coming. 2 shots coming, I should say.
And now both teams 3 fouls already in this fourth quarter. They're nearing the bonus, and I think both teams really can't afford that at this point because for TRC, you can't let them get back into this game by free throw attempts. And on the flip side, for FHC, you can't be giving TRC easy baskets either.
And Ocampo goes 2 for 2 at the line. Jefferson Monegro guarded by Jeffers. Monegro, Tim BK. John tied up. They get it back, and BK gets it to go on the reverse layup. That was beautiful. Taunting foul again.
And we saw that yesterday with MBK. He had a technical foul in that third quarter.
You got to be smarter than that if you're Majambu MBK. Jeremy Kaye letting him have it. Just a silly foul there, and that could come back to haunt them.
And it's one of those, it's a foul where you completely forget he just finished a great play, but that's not going to be the story now. They get lucky with the missed free throw, but still, it was something that you can't really afford to do. especially in a fourth quarter where a game is tight.
Ocampo with the ball now. Henry Cart looking for answers. Strong drive, and it's going right back to TRC. Nagamba coming back into the game now. Refs discussing things with the scorers table now. Dawson John now to take it up. PK with 3 fouls. 8-second violation in the backcourt that time. TRC kind of fell asleep.
And that's just an inexcusable turnover. You could just see they were playing really lax, trying to get it over the half court. And in a game like this, you can't afford to make mistakes like that. You're just keeping a team in it for reasons that you can control.
Nice give and go that time. Extra pass to Howard, and he finishes it off. That was beautifully done. Beautiful drawn up play by Paul Melnick. John, bounce pass inside, and Vrolak with the slam. And Father Henry Carr cannot stop TRC right now, and they're trying everything. Ocampo behind the back. Strong drive, pass out to Jeffers for 3. Bang! Brown Jeffers from the corner.
A rare 3 by FHC, and just in time because they needed a big shot to try to pull the momentum.
And just like that, Caleb Johnson off of the bench getting set to check back in. This is a big move here for Paul Melnick, bringing Johnson in with 6:32 to go. And here the crowd get on their feet as soon as he comes in. He is fresh now, but you were saying earlier he might be a little bit rusty for sitting that long. John with the ball. Up top to Monegro. Celebingue inside to Vrolak. Stolen by Ocampo. Ocampo up top to Johnson. A little too strong. Jeffers can't draw the foul. And they get the ball. Shirley for 3. Blocked. What a recovery by BK and Shirley with a silly foul. That's 14 fouls on both squads right now.
And I wouldn't be surprised if TRC tries to attack Caleb Johnson here on the defensive end. You try to make him commit a foul because we saw it on the baseline there when even though he got that ball, he was very hesitant to reach in and try to take it because he knows one silly foul could be the end of him for this game.
6 minutes now remaining in the fourth quarter. Hey, BK. Could have got called, Monegro gets the floater to go in. Johnson over to Shirley. Jeffers too strong on the drive, and then BK comes down with another rebound.
And that wasn't a very good possession by FHC.
Monegro into Vrolak again! Dunks it on the head of Brown Jeffers. Nagamba grabs the foul that time and
no
just gonna head to the line for 2.
No surprise that Nagamba is going to the line. He's been doing that all game.
Two shots coming up here as the game is an 11-point lead again for TRC. A lot of confusion going on here between the referees and Paul Melnick discussing stuff.
And both teams that were kind of maybe feeling it on the offensive end now kind of have to slow the game down. This could be a detriment for their offensive game for both teams.
Nagamba good on the first. Two for two at the line that time for Noah Nagamba. Screen from Vrolak. Monegro sees a seam. And a charging foul that time. Nagamba sacrifices his body. Monegro checking out, and James is going to check in. Johnson with the attack. No good that time. Very quick possession. James taking over point guard duties right now with Monegro on the bench. Pass inside, turned over. Brown Jeffers to Johnson. Misses the shot. They're going to call a foul on Therian.
Caleb Johnson, we've seen now, he looks like he wants to have the ball in his hands because that's 2 possessions in a row that he's trying to take this game for FHC, and now he'll get 2 shots at the free throw line, maybe to kind of help him get his rhythm going for the final 4:45.
Johnson misses both at the line that time. Johnson on the year, an 80% free throw shooter as well. Off the foot of Monegro.
And a sloppy turnover for TRC, but you mentioned it. Caleb Johnson, I feel like he really is still trying to get into that rhythm. I've said it a couple times now, but it does feel that way for him.
Nagamba again. No good that time. James comes down with a big rebound. And they're going to call a reach and foul on Brown Jeffers. That looked clean.
And that's going to be 2 free throws.
Both teams in the penalty now.
And for FHC, they were getting into a groove at the beginning of that 4th quarter, but this is the wrong time to start getting cold on the offensive end. Now have a sloppy foul at the top of at half court. It's not the decision you need to make.
And now that we're under 5 minutes, time is not on Henry Carr's side here.
TRC's defense is already really good. Now you have to play against the clock too. It's going to be a difficult task for FHC.
Well, I wonder how long Paul Melnick keeps Ocampo on the bench. Off on the second that time. Jeffers to Johnson. Can't get it to go. Caleb Johnson just doesn't have it right now. Vrolak to James. Back to Monegro. Here's John. Floater, no good. Nagamba to Johnson. Finally gets one to go, and the foul.
And that's just what FHC needed. not just the basket, but for Caleb Johnson to just see something go through the net after coming in.
We're going to call a tripling foul. Steven Diaz coming in now for Jefferson Monegro. Jeremy Kaye sets the warning here. And Johnson gets the extra point to go here. 104-97. Still anyone's game here, Joe. As time winds down. Nearly stolen by Nagamba. The crowd is back into it. Stolen by Father Henry Carr. Jeffers banks it in. 5-point game, 2-possession game now. TRC needs a silencer. James, cut off by Shirley. Frolak, can't get the hook to go.
And if you're TRC, I think you need to start looking at Dawson John. He hasn't really seen the ball much in this fourth quarter. They need a bucket. They got to start going to him.
That's a good point. Haven't heard much from him in the fourth quarter. Nagamba to Jeffers for three. No good. TRC got bailed out there with a missed shot. 2:50 remaining. John with the ball in his hands. Stolen! Stolen back! John for three! Can't deliver that time. Howard with the ball now. Here comes Nagamba. Diaz hobbling up court. Nagamba banks it in. Something's going on with Steven Diaz's ankle. John to Mbike, going in strong, he puts it in!
And they needed a bucket and they went to Mbike, who's been an absolute stud for them this entire game.
Nagamba one-on with the BK. Nagamba to Shirley for three! Short! And it's going to go back to TRC. That was very deflating.
And for Jalen Shirley, he wishes he had that one back because he is their best three-point shooter, and he just whiffed it.
He's been off all game, though, Joe. He has not been able to find the range. Brandon Ocampo back on now for Father Henry Carr with 1:56 remaining. Dawson John with the ball in his hands. James to John. Terrion, no good from the mid-range. Nagamba pushing up court. Jeffers for three. No good. Ocampo gets it in on the follow.
And Ocampo, who took a pretty long rest on the bench, comes in and makes a play. Only one possession game now.
Under 90 seconds. John, no good. Rebound, puts it in. Dawson John with the extra effort. Jeffers gets it to go.
TRC was sleeping on getting back on the defensive end.
105-108. TRC leads. Ball in their hands. John, and it's tipped out by Ocampo. Oh, they're going to call a foul.
Oh, and
I thought he just poked it out.
Foul. That's a big foul because that's 2 shots.
2 shots coming up here. Paul Melnick's got to be careful here. He's going to pick up the technical foul. Receives a warning here. And these are very important free throws for Dawson John here. John with the clutch free throw here. One more, he makes it a 5-point game. 1:11 remaining.
And I was going to say, if you're FHC, you do not need to force a 3-point shot here. Take what's been given to you. It's a 2-possession game either way.
Nagamba to Jeffers. Strong drive, gets it to go. Brown Jeffers has been delivering here in this fourth quarter. James with a methodical dribble up the floor. Screen, nearly stolen. And PK into Frolak. Stolen. Johnson keeps it in. Shirley, who's back in the game now. Johnson, strong drive, floats it, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, and he draws a foul, gonna head to the line for 2.
And he almost got that 3-point play that they needed, but still 2 shots for Caleb Johnson, your best player at the free throw line. You said he was shooting around 80% from the free throw line so far this year.
The biggest free throws of the year here for Caleb Johnson. And he hits the first. 2-point game. TRC's gonna have the ball with 30.5 seconds remaining. And Caleb Johnson goes 2 for 2 at the line. 1-point game, and Jeremy Kaye wants to talk it over. A big play coming here, and it forces them to get over half court. We're not gonna take a break here, but Joe, tell me your thoughts here. What play should Jeremy Kaye draw up here?
I think what's most important is...
But you got to keep in mind that the double's coming immediately. We've seen it all fourth quarter.
The double is coming immediately, but you need to get Dawson John involved, because whether he's the guy who's passing it or shooting it, you at least want him to touch the ball, because you know right now he's been their best player so far, especially scoring. He needs to be involved in this play, and you also don't rush it. Don't think that you need to make a shot quickly, and on the flip side,
don't foul.
Don't think that's true, but also don't think that you need to run this clock all the way down to 24 seconds. Get the goal on mind is to get a good shot.
Get the best shot possible, right? And Henry Carr cannot afford to take a foul here. He's still 30.5 seconds remaining. Even if they did make a basket, it's still a 1-possession game here. No 3-point shots allowed. And you guard without fouling. That's very important here for Paul Melnick and Father Henry Carr. They've come all the way back from 22 points and now trail by just 1 point here.
And that's a great point. You can't give up a 3 here, because whether you foul or you give up a 2, at the end of the day, you'll have an opportunity to at least get the ball back and tie the game. If you give up a 3, you're putting yourself in a really, really tough situation. An
interesting choice here for Paul Melnick, keeping Ocampo on the bench. Perhaps if they get a rebound, they'll call a timeout and put him back on the floor.
That has to be the game plan there.
You have Malachi Howard down low along with Noah Nagamba, Jeremiah Brown Jeffers, Caleb Johnson, and Jalen Shirley out there. For TRC, you have Majabu and BK, who's being harassed right now by the fans. The refs have to tell him to back up. You got Johnny Frolak, Luke Terrion, Gotlock James, and Dawson John on the floor here for TRC. James with the ball to John. Dawson John, hop step, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, and the foul! Dawson John delivers the goods!
And that was the worst possible thing that you could do if you were FHC. You get the stop, but you don't get the rebound, and their best player, Dawson John, makes the basket with the foul. This isn't an opportunity to ice it, but man,
still timeouts left, but Dawson John, the biggest shot of the season so far for him and TRC.
And we were talking yesterday, TRC is looking for that statement win on the season so far. They haven't struggled against the great teams, but they just haven't been able to close. They let them come back, but they have an opportunity here to finish.
And now TRC with a 4-point lead after Dawson John with a clutch bucket and free throw at the end there. Henry Carr You go for the 2 here and go play the foul game again?
I think what you do here is you just get a good look. It's either or. If the 3's available, you take the 3, but I think just you need to drop a good play. That's the focus. Drop a good play, whether you think you want to go for a 3 here or if you want to try to get inside. I think you should go for the 2 because that's what's been working for them. They struggled from 3 most of this game. I think in a situation where you don't have to get a 3, I think that's maybe the way to go because they play good defense. You get a steal and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game if you make that first basket.
I think here, though, without a doubt, the ball has to be in Jeremiah Brown-Jeffers or Caleb Johnson's hand. Brown-Jeffers has been unreal here in the final quarter here at Father Henry Carr, and Caleb Johnson starting to pick up some heat here as we wind down the game.
Well, to that point, though, I think Ocampo, you have to trust him too, and even a guy like Nagambo who's been getting fouled on the inside.
I'm not sure Paul Melnick's going to put Ocampo in right now. Be an interesting decision here by Melnick. So Jeremy Kaye keeping Johnny Vrolak and Therion in there, keeping the big lineup. They're going to take another timeout here, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Stick around for the end of this game. Back here in the fourth quarter, and we were talking about on the break there, Brandon Ocampo not on the floor here for Father Henry Carr. Caleb Johnson down in the paint here, wonder if they run a play for him. Nagamba gets the ball up top. Brown-Jeffers for 3, too strong, rebound, fighting on the floor. Jeffers loses the ball off his foot. And it's going to go back to TRC.
And it's going to be difficult. That might have just iced the game here.
And Paul Melnick talking at Malachi Howard saying he was supposed to pass to Caleb Johnson, so I think that was the plan all along here.
It was a good look, though, from 3.
Couple free throws here, and the game will be iced. To Vrolak, stolen! Shirley to Johnson for 3! No good! Rebound! 3! No good again! And that should just pretty much do it here. That's going to do it. What an end of a game here. It didn't look like the clock was started.
I was going to say it looked like the clock didn't start, and it ended up giving FHC a couple seconds extra, but it still wasn't enough to get FHC back in this game.
What a game. Jeremy Kaye fired up. He knows how many fourth quarters have been lost. But ultimately tonight, they were able to come through and close out this game. And big props to Dawson John tonight, going over 30 points and really coming up clutch here at the end of the game. Joe, final thoughts on the game before we get out of here?
I think for TRC, this is what they needed this season. They needed a statement win, and that's exactly what they got against a great FHC team.
Yeah, no doubt. TRC showed tonight they could compete with any team. Father Henry Carr drops down to 8-3, and TRC goes up to 8-4, moving up in the division tonight. And that'll do it for the OSBA Game of the Week. For Joe D'Agostino, producer Yoram Kerbal, everyone at OSBA. This has been the OSBA Game of the Week. I'm Anthony Gaio saying have a great night.